Should we get into some nerdy news?
Yes, I think we should. It's been quite a juicy week.
Marvel have cooked this week.
Disney has, to be fair.
So, Marvel has given free online access to Fantastic Four number 1,
hmm
1961. Fantastic Four number 48, 49, and 50 from the initial run. These are the first appearances of Silver Surfer and Galactus. And Fantastic Four Life Story number 1. So Life Story is a, as far as I know, pretty controversial line of comics they did,
Oh,
where they took
okay.
iconic Marvel characters. Oh, I've lost audio again. I'll keep talking there.
Okay.
Where they took iconic Marvel characters and they planned out their like 50-year comic history as if it had happened in real time.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, like I've got the Spider-Man Life Story entire run.
Right. Okay.
And in that, by the time Miles is a hero, Pete is in his 50s.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is, what if they were aging naturally
hmm
throughout the character's entire history to give you a better idea of how long these big arcs were?
Yep. I get you.
So it's making it very clear we're going back to the early days of the Fantastic Four.
Mm.
And it's also making it very clear that Silver Surfer and Galactus
Mm.
are going to be important. Very interestingly, Julia Garner, who was in Inventing Anna and Ozark,
Okay.
has reportedly been cast as Charla Ball, who is the love interest or is related to Norman Rad, who's the Silver Surfer, and she's the female Silver Surfer. But in one of the alternate Marvel universes, she is the Silver Surfer.
Ooh.
So people are now starting to piece together what universe they think this is being based off a little bit as well. And they're trying to use that to piece together what universe this is taking place in, because it doesn't sound like this is taking place on the main Marvel timeline. It sounds like we're joining the Fantastic Four already once they've been the Fantastic Four for a few years. They're already quite famous in a different universe. The even more exciting bit,
Go on.
the Fantastic Four aren't on the main MCU timeline. Galactus eats worlds. What the fuck is stopping them from letting Galactus eat a world? And the Fantastic Four just managed to escape.
I mean, this is what I was just thinking, because isn't Galactus... Couldn't that also link in the Eternal stuff?
Yes.
So it's like you say, what if they escape through the quantum realm or another means, and like you said, Galactus eats their world? Then they tie in Galactus is coming after.
Or, I mean, I'm not 100% up to date here on Secret Invasion. Or no, sorry, not Secret Invasion, Secret Wars. But I believe the recent Secret Wars, the incursion in that was caused by one of the Reed Richards trying to save their world.
Okay.
I might be off here, but what if that is true? What if whatever Reed does to stop Galactus triggers the incursions, and that's how they start bringing all these universes in together?
Interesting. There's
Because
definitely...
they don't want to leave it with there being all these different
No.
Earths in
Well, we've
the
seen
films.
they've obviously got, like, they're using the notation now going forward of main timeline, branch timeline.
Mm-hmm.
They've kind of set all this up. So yeah, I do think they don't want to stick constantly you having to guess, like, pay attention to, oh, okay, this film's in a branch timeline or this is an alternate timeline.
They want to do incursions. They want to get all of the characters, because they now own them again, on one timeline and do a mini reset, which is what
But yeah,
Secret
they're
Wars going to
using
allow them to do.
the multiverse setup they've done to essentially allow that. Yeah.
But yes, very, very cool. And anyone who's being a weirdo on the internet claiming the MCU's gone woke for hiring a female Silver Surfer, open a fucking comic book.
Yeah.
Um,
Why does it matter?
exactly. It's crazy. There have been a metric butt fuck ton, I believe is the official measurement, of Daredevil set leaks this week. We're not going to get into too many, but we are going to talk one massive spoiler. So unplug your ears and I'll wave at the camera when it's safe again. Jon Bernthal was on set as Punisher.
Which is very exciting. And I'm so glad they got him
Yes.
back.
Yes. And the other little bit that was interesting is they showed a dirty cop wearing the Punisher logo.
Ooh.
I'm not sure Disney have got the balls for it. But in a world where Marvel themselves recently changed the Punisher's logo because police officers were using it and they didn't like it, I would love it so much if they had the balls for Frank to do what Frank Castle would actually do and brutally murder these police officers and go, you guys said you're here to protect the law. You shouldn't look up to me. You should despise me and want to stop me.
They could do a double whammy, right? They could do that, like you say, which would be a pretty ballsy thing for them to do. And then also in the process be like, he changes his logo. So then it matches up with the comics.
Maybe.
Because he's like, he gets rid of them, but then it's kind of a bit, he doesn't feel right using that logo anymore. So he kind of changes it up to be like, look, I'm not you guys.
But let's just be completely clear. Frank Castle is a piece of shit and a bad human being.
Well, yeah.
And cops should not agree with him. Comic book cops agreeing with him have literally always been murdered by the Punisher. And cops in real life who feel like they can use the Punisher's signal or symbol rather shouldn't be allowed on police force. They can't be trusted. Star Wars.
Yes. Very exciting
Tales of the Jedi.
We did.
2 seasons of Tales of the Jedi, or am I tripping?
No, it was just one. It was like 2 stories, 6 episodes.
2 stories. It was Count Dooku and Ahsoka, each with like 6 shorts.
Yep.
3 shorts. We're now getting Tales of the Empire.
Yes. I'm so excited. We're getting Morgan Elsbeth, who we've seen in both Ahsoka and Mando.
Yeah.
Witch Lady. And I forget which Inquisitor it is, but the green-skinned Inquisitor, her storyline of how she becomes Inquisitor,
is that also the 5th sister?
I think something like that. But
I can't remember exactly which one, but yeah.
This will be very interesting because we haven't really seen anything of how the Inquisitors were trained and brought in. Obviously, we've seen more of them from the games recently with Fallen Jedi and stuff, but the Inquisitors still in like Star Wars media, not including like books and comics and stuff that have shown them, but like it's still very new, so it's very interesting to see the behind the scenes of it and the tease that Darth Vader is their master. So we get a little tease of that. We also got
the puppy
tease of Thrawn with a slightly different visual style, which I kind of think is them pulling him more into the Ahsoka visual look.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart.
And it's going to build on that relationship between Morgan Elsbeth and Thrawn predating Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Which will definitely be interesting to see.
And then we also we're going to get to see the old General Grievous dusted off.
Yeah.
Missed having him. That looks like it's going to be sick.
It'll be an interesting one for sure.
But I put in our chat when this trailer came out, we've had Tales of the Jedi. This is Tales of the Empire. I really want Tales of the Hunter. And we get like a Boba and like Cad Bane sort of little
Boba
episodes.
In between the last time we see him in Clone Wars versus the original trilogy. What was he doing?
Maybe like Cad Bane from like, what was he doing between when we last see him in like Bad Batch and then Book of Boba Fett? Like, what's he been up to?
I think I'd be more interested in young Cad Bane. What was he doing before he first appeared in the Clone Wars?
How did he become a bounty hunter? That could true.
Yeah, I would definitely be down for a Tales of the Hunters for sure. It would very much depend on who they decided to do it on, though.
Yeah. I think they could have some fun with it, though.
Absolutely. Some DC news. Joker, Folie à Deux, has been rated R for some strong violence, strong language throughout, some sexuality, and brief full nudity. Joaquin Phoenix whacking his cock out? Hog? Joker cock?
What a sentence. What have I just heard?
I don't know why. Maybe it's worse or not, I don't know, but seeing that there's full nudity, knowing that Lady Gaga's one of the leads in the film, in my head I'm just instantly like, I have to make a joke about how I want it to be Joaquin Phoenix's cock, just so people don't think I'm some like person obsessed with Lady Gaga being nude. Realistically, I do also think it's more likely that we get Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's down for some stuff when he's filming stuff he cares about. And I know he's getting paid a fuck ton more money for this than he did the first one, but he does seem to also like quite enjoy doing this stuff. So I don't know, we'll see.
I saw like that this is gonna have so many like old school songs that everyone knows.
Yeah. By the sounds of it, it's not a musical, but rather they've got loads of songs from a certain time period.
I wonder if that's where all the budget went.
Maybe.
There's so many songs they had to pay for licensing.
They've got like a bunch of 80s and 90s music in there. Shit ain't cheap.
No. All that licensing.
Yeah. I mean, never know. You should just make it all Lady Gaga songs and then just like get her to agree to it for like the art of the film.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We've also heard like the first audio tease of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. There's been some discussion. I see both sides, which is actually quite rare and quite refreshing. Some people are not happy because they think it's not Harley Quinn enough.
Well, that was always going to happen.
Other people, which I do think I lean slightly more to, are like, cool, Harley Quinn is supposed to be a New Yorker. Lady Gaga is a New Yorker. She's just not hamming it up like we're used to seeing from Harley Quinn because Harley's like came through cartoons.
Yeah.
Cartoon voice acting is always a bit more out there, which kind of set Harley off in a weird place.
Yeah.
Not a bad place, but just weird.
It's the only reference anyone has.
Exactly. So then when she came to live action, Margot Robbie decided to call on the only other inspiration for voice there's been. And now people are like quite nailed in on this is what Harley has to sound like. This is quite a different take on the Joker and that entire world anyway. I don't think it sounds abhorrently weird. It's just a bit of a getting used to it. At the end of the day, there are people who didn't dislike Jared Leto's Joker voice. And that, I think, is far more offensive than Lady Gaga's Harley voice.
What do you mean? It was pure art. Yeah, no, you're not wrong though.
So, I mean, it's a wait. This entire film is a wait and see situation. I've said it for a while now. This film is either going to be a 1 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, and neither will shock me.
I mean, there's one thing
to walk out of that cinema angry that I bought the ticket, or ready to tell everyone on planet Earth they have to go see it right now.
I mean, it can't be any worse than what Sony's put out recently. So
exactly. I'm still excited for this film. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of them things where, even if it is more on the bad side, it's going to be a very unique experience, and I think that's what cinema needs more of.
Agreed.
And also, Joaquin Phoenix cock.
Can't wait to clip these things.
At WonderCon, Sam Raimi said he'd love to direct Secret Wars.
I saw this.
But he's very clear that no one's asked him. No one's shown any interest in asking him. But he wants them to ask him.
I can't imagine they've asked anyone yet.
I mean, they had someone, but then apparently they changed their mind, didn't they? I don't think they've asked anyone since.
Yeah, but I mean, with the way things have gone recently, it doesn't surprise me.
I love Sam Raimi. I think he genuinely cares about comic book movies in a way not many people do.
Mm-hmm.
What he did for Spider-Man 1 and 2 is literally genre changing. For a long time, I held a lot of resentment towards what he did with Spider-Man 3. But having grown up and worked multiple jobs now, and also hearing more about what happened around Spider-Man 3, I can see that there were some decisions made above his pay grade, and he kind of fell out of love with the project, and that's why it went a bit to shit.
Yep.
And all of the criticisms of Multiverse of Madness fall more on the script rather than the directing, and he didn't write the script. So, as long as it's a good script for Secret Wars, I'm all for Sam Raimi getting an opportunity to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like you say,
there's been a lot of discussion that Marvel want him back for projects. For a little while, he almost took over Blade.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
clearly want him for something.
It wouldn't surprise me if he is on their radar, but since
I think it'd be crazy if he wasn't.
Since they dropped the other director, and then they've completely been going through like so many reshuffles of what release dates, then a shuffle of like changing direction, we're trimming things, and like things getting shot. There's so
big bad.
Yeah, there's so much changing. They probably don't even know where Secret Wars sits at the moment, and like it's not even a priority right now. Well, somewhat will be a priority, I imagine, but it's not number one priority of getting a director locked in.
But since we're discussing it, me and Horizontal would like to throw our hat in the ring as co-directors of Secret Wars. I reckon we do a good job.
I mean, I'll be director of photography.
Why are you selling yourself short? We'll direct the whole film, shot for shot.
I'm not. No, I'll be director. I'll be DP.
Imagine the vlog. Imagine the first episode back. We disappear for 2 years to direct a film. We're like, so where have we been? Horizontal, how's your 2 years been? We're both just disheveled and really thin where we've been working such a long day. We're like, made a film. Please go watch it. Twitter's horrible.
I mean, on that though, realistically, if Marvel, if you do somehow hear this and you just want someone to come and do photography behind the scenes and not leak, I promise I will not leak them to our podcast.
I might leak.
I will.
Because Hori will leak them to me.
No, I won't. Legally, I am saying I would not do that.
Yeah, so I think it would be crazy for Sam Raimi to not be on their shortlist. I do think it is more likely they've just not even really thought about it yet.
I think they're going to wait till Fantastic Four's out and get a reception of this new sort of direction a bit.
Realistically, the two names on my shortlist for Secret Wars to be spoken about are Ryan Coogler and Sam Raimi. They're the two directors who've already worked in the MCU that I think I confidently trust with such a big film.
Just let Kevin do it.
Just let Feige become a director instead of a producer.
Just give him full reins.
Just the flattest imagery you've ever seen. On some very sad news to wrap it all up.
Yes, some pretty shocking news from this week.
This came out of nowhere, and you sent me the message telling me it happened. I just sat there. I was like, "Wow, that."
Yeah, I saw the news on TikTok, and I was like, "This can't be real. Like, this must be just like some bait thing." Check the comments, and even people in the comments didn't know. But yeah, unfortunately, Chance Perdomo, I think I've said his last name correct there, but best known recently for playing Andre in Gen V, amazing role, unfortunately has passed away. He had a motorcycle accident, and he's only 27, which is wild to me.
It's horrifically sad. That just. I mean, it's always out of nowhere when it's a motorcycle accident, but I think like that puts him squarely in between us age-wise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So realistically, this is someone like we have friends that are this kind of age.
Yeah, it's literally like
So
one of
like,
us, our group,
yeah,
suddenly just out of nowhere. Yeah.
really, really
Especially,
sad.
I think what was more shocking is like we knew there was the rumor that Gen V was going to start
Yeah, it
season
was due to
2.
start filming in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks, I think, or a couple of months.
Which, yeah. I
Yeah,
think what's,
based on how close they were on set as well, and all like the stuff they filmed before the strike for promo, it seemed like that was a really tight knit cast as well. So I
mhm,
imagine all the people who worked on Gen V and got to experience the astronomical success of that show together probably feel like they've lost a brother as well.
yeah.
And of course, his family will be in pieces. Really, really sad, and it absolutely sucks that this ever happens. And it sucks
Yeah.
that it's
It's
someone
gone
that's
too
done
soon,
art that
unfortunately.
people care about.